Okay, so today, here in my 1998 Honda Civic Coupe, and I decided I'm going to install a kill switch in it. So we're just going to start and take a look, figure out how we're going to do it, and maybe take you through a few of the steps. I'm going to reach down here, and there's the fuse panel. We already taken the cover off. We're going to choose one of the fuses that probably goes to the fuel pump, and then from that we'll be able to put the switch in line with that wire, and then hopefully that'll be good enough, and then we'll just have to find a spot to locate the So I was able to pull it off. There's just 3 screws, and then on the back you can see we've got some clips up top, and it basically just came right out. None of the clips broke, and now we're ready to dive underneath the fuse panel. I was just looking here, and there's actually already a switch. So I don't know, like, if I press it, it's gonna do something. And then also up here is zip tied to just probably the steering. There's 2 things. So I don't know what they are. I'm gonna do a little digging. This one says shock sensor, but there's also a little adjustment on that. And then this one, I'm gonna assume it's probably connected. There's a little green light on it and another adjustment, but I'll see if I start it and press that little button, if it does anything, and then keep on going with this kill switch. I just found this black box wedged up here just to the left of the steering wheel, and I was reading it, and it's a bunch of settings for switches, and it's quite interesting. It's got a whole label of like all the wires for it, so I'm gonna do a little more digging. Maybe this car actually has power locks. I didn't think it did to begin with, but maybe it does. Like you can see back in there, there is a wire going to the door. Maybe it's just for the speakers, maybe it is for the locks. But anyways, gonna do some more digging, and then I took apart the door handle, took a look in here, don't see any wires or electronics going to the lock, so there's obviously no power locks. That's what I figured when I bought the car, because the guy said there were no key fobs, so that was good to know. But I'm still curious what this little black box's purpose is, so we'll keep going. Here's the fuse box panel, or the interior fuse box panel, and it has its own listing. And then I've also opened up the car manual. So right here, gonna go for the ignition coil, 15 amp. So it's gonna be number 9 right there. Number 9, 15 amp ignition coil. So that's the one that I'm choosing to put the switch into. So we'll just find that wire and then get ready to splice into it. Okay, so now we're back in the Civic today. Right under here we found that this is actually connected to the ignition tumbler right there. So we could just slice into some of those wires when we look at the diagram, but we also found over here to the right of the glove box, there's another relay in there. So we've looked up the main relay diagram for a Honda Civic, and it has the battery, fuel pump, and it also has the ignition connected to it. So we're going to look into those wires, and then hopefully we can find one to splice into. So here we are. We actually, after we took out the glove box, found that little box back there, the black box, and that's where we decided to splice into the wire. You can find a diagram online, probably link it. And then basically from that, we cut into one of the wires. Ours is the fuel pump, and then now it's connected to a switch. Just put some butt connectors and then just taped it on there. It works real nice. We'll show you how it goes. So now it's beeping, and we turn it to the run position, and you can hear that there's no buzzing, which would be the fuel pump. Try and start it. Doesn't work. So then, if this was closed, you just flick it, and then we turn it back to the run position. Don't know if you can hear that, but that's the fuel pump, and it clicked off. And then start it. There you go. So that was a successful install. Now we'll just take this from the glove box, and we'll probably hide it somewhere else. Thanks for watching.